be able to pick that frog up. It's around there. It's around there. Gotta be very careful with how they place this right here. gotta find the timing. You gotta find the timing, then it's gonna move. It's gonna go. I try not to do it with reverb because a lot of you guys don't like that. You know, I know a lot of people usually like to say that reverb kind of covers up the ugliness. I'm fine with the ugliness. My stuff is always ugly in the beginning. Do not expect a beautiful melody to come out really quickly. But that's how it is. I'll be doing this for a while until this comes up perfected, and that's how I make my musical pieces. The phone is not at all playing anything too serious, but when it's like sound design, that's when my phone does best. When it's sound design, my phone does the best right from there. When it's like, let's say instrument wise, this thing helps me. This right here helps me with the playing around. Please don't have to use my phone. Save some battery, save some lighting, save some water. Sound design, this thing right here. Watch. I'm gonna try. It's just my phone. It's just not the best at listening. Let me try something here quick. I can't play it properly if it's not on my face, so I have no choice. Alright. So basically these. If I only been it from there, it would have been fine, but am I? No. I'm not done. I'm not done. Nowhere near. Actually, let's continue on with this. This was, yeah, this color. Oh, it's blue. Let's see, is this color acceptable? Yes, it's acceptable. Blue, well, blue, this side, because the camera's reversed, and this darker, this blue. Alright, blue, darker. Because these things kind of change the colors a slight bit, and I don't think you could hear me. Hello! You know, when I put the mic over there, I had to speak to it like that from that angle. Anyways. We have the outers? Yes! Alright. It's time to bring the thing I don't necessarily have to take out, but to take out anyways! The mic is in the wrong place, but I'm still talking. It's a little different from me. So basically, originally when I had this route all put out in certain ways, it's cool. Problem. Now here's the thing. Here's the problem. It's done at stream. I can't just transfer all the movement and stuff right here. So basically, what I have to do is improvise. I got this, I got a lead. This will be reference for future songs. They will come out more beautiful than everything you see here. It's just how that one would work. And I'll basically put this right here. It's just no, you know what? I'll put it right here. It's for later reference. You know what? What a good time to actually try it out from this angle. I'm gonna talk loud enough just in case this thing has not picked me up. Talking loud enough. I hope it works. Woo! Alright. Let's see. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna do a risky thing, but that's okay. No, you friends don't care. So now that we're done with that. Bring that here, we adjust. Move this out of the way, move that out of the way. It's that frill that counts. Sorry, wait, move that way. That is moved out of the way. This stuff right here in my angle is out of the way. That stuff's right over there. Alright. I'm probably gonna release a bunch of audio sooner or later when I have the time. Just kidding. I have time. A lot of time. No, seriously, I do. Like there's nobody to talk to, so why not? So I'm gonna take out these cards. You know what these rolling cards do? These cards right here, these roll cards. There's a lot you can do with these. For a guy who has lots of names, we're gonna do it. We're going to take out some of that frill, and we're gonna make it happen just a different way. Put this to the side, and I'm gonna make sure it all occurs. It is about 12:46. Don't mind the camera's resolution. It's certain ways. Let's see. I'm gonna pick some here. It's basically like what it's like to be working with me in that case. We're gonna make this brighter. Alright. Alright, it's up. Now, what we're gonna basically do here is begin our little drawing session after tempering with that keyboard for a while. It's not enough, but you'll see what I mean by having that. Got my keys in my pocket. It's gonna make a lot of jingling sounds. Here's the issue here. Basically, in this part, this part is that I'm recording from the desktop, and the desktop doesn't necessarily capture the audio from here. If I ever try changing the camera angle, I can't really just live stream a drawing angle here. So what I'll have to improvise on is that I find something that's tall enough for the desktop to stand on, and I can't just really change up the setup just for streaming, but if I will, I will. The thing is I don't really have a lot of tall things to use around here, so what we're gonna do here is literally just drag a table of mine into this room. This is just normally what I sometimes do, and it's to do with that. So, what we're gonna do here, not knock over my keyboard, of course, put this out. You have much to do, Project Yeah. You have nothing to do, then you're probably dead. There's never nothing to do. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do in the time as a Project Yeah. I hope this mic's picking up my voice. Seriously, I'm scared. Sometimes it's too quiet and I have to hide the volume. I'm not editing this stream. Moving this out of the way, because we don't want you in the way. This light thingy. Close my keyboard across. We have this table right here. Issue what table? It's not really just suited to record every of that file, so we're gonna have that. We're gonna have the mic here. Don't mind that file that I'm doing right now. It's part of the struggle. I'm doing this on the spot. It's not hard, it's just tedious. So we just put this out here. We have a drawing platform. Boom. Thing is, it's not high enough. So what else are we gonna do? Yes! Of course, I am doing that. So basically, when this is the issue, we're gonna have to do something a little wicked. Let's see. Let's first try it out. Never really try it out. Let's see. Is this happen to be long enough? No. It's gonna crush my legs. Okay. Let's just put this back in. This is basically my type of run that I always go through. Anyways. Don't mind all this stuff around here in the back. This is somebody else's. We're gonna look at this. We're gonna ignore some of those market type of things. So basically, what I'm gonna do here is I'll speak loud enough so that the mic can pick me up. It's not too quiet. I know I mumble, so sometimes it doesn't pick it up. I can see it's in the green range and not in the yellow range. So if I muttered and that wasn't caught, then I hate you. Let's see. So basically, now we have this. What are we gonna do? We're gonna draw on it. What do you think I'm gonna do? Not draw on it? Huh. Let's see. We're gonna put that to the side. I don't think I really need this. Usually I use this thing so that I can lean on it, because this literal table here has this like one thing that's sticking out, has like a ridge, and it pokes out. And so whenever I lean it, it just like presses onto my arm, and that hurts. So I have to put this on and go like that. Alright. So we have that thing. We're gonna go around here and alright. Now that we have that handled, we're gonna go in here. We're inside the room. I should be able to capture my voice fully. Someone. And now, here's the hardest part. Alright. So, some of you guys have ever heard of that one drawing I made that was covered in at least almost 50 of my characters of mine. Well, there's a certain amount of characters I drew before in the same place, and there's not many times where I drew group pictures, so it was around there in that point. I'm going to show you how I improvise. So basically, it's how did I pick up the naming systems and how did that? It took a little few years to settle in, so that whenever future me needs to have reference to use later on in the future, we had future me going, what names did I pick and what names did I use? How did I do it? Past me is your answer, your trip and your travel. So, do you see this? You see this? We're gonna go into it right now. We're gonna look into this. So basically, I have this thing here with transformation names, blah blah blah. We're not gonna put that on screen, obviously. You're gonna go through that work yourself by going into the stuff I posted. Probably posted the names of transformations of my characters. That will be later on. And I really want to succeed, make this thing a reality. So right now, I just do not give a foul. I really want my characters to be animated, a real thing, a cinematic thing. So no transformation names for you until you look into my channel by yourself. If you want to spoil and go there, go spoil it and get me famous. Just tell everybody what it is, if you can read my writing at all. So basically, there's this many character names. We're going to go into here, and we're just going to flip the pages. These are not random letters or writings, they're really names. These will come in either in the future or come in the past. So, not wanting to skip pages because you see some pages are filled in a little more, and then yeah, it just stops right there. About 400 right there. It's blurry, so let's right like that. Future me, make sure to take note that I did do that. I had to name them and put stages, mock what race they came from. Some of them are descendants or Gen 2. So we had Portuguese ancestors' names in there. We're gonna go back here. We got more of these type of names like Preslav Lavali, Brownfellow, Guavali, Masudas, Sideria, Fetsi, Vitoria, Cadra, Macticlis, Paxiliv, Paslivias, Flint Pax, Lavali, and Fitz McCarthy, and stuff like that. So, luckily, I drew about a certain percentage of those names onto a real paper once. So we're gonna go here. So this paper I just set up, yeah. That's not fully the thing I set up. So let's see. There it is. I think I'll just wrap this thing up because it's getting annoying. I was gonna originally just draw on a spot. I was like, never mind. Let me just show my character. That's it. I'm gonna do this instead. Alright, where can I store it? Right here. Alright, paper stored, paper safe. And now we have this. And this, not you. Then this, not you. You go right here. Take this stack, get in there, move this out of the way, do that. And we have drawn, it looks more smaller on camera. So I probably still have to shove this thing in front of the camera for you guys to see. It's already been made a long while ago, but my phone is under repair. As in I said in a community post, my phone's under repair. So I can't really show you an image showing you proof that I made it a little while back, which I did, but I can't because it's on my phone. And I'm not just going to show you my personal stuff on screen. I mean, I could show you a lot, but it's not my personal stuff. So, because I'm not taking my chances with 1,000+ subs. Anybody wants to hunt me. Anybody wants to ruin me. Anybody wants to stalk you. You're a social media influence, even the smallest ones. You probably at one point should probably not share your personal information because if you ever go big, people will find out and probably harass anybody that used to live there, like me, and attack other people that are nowhere there. So we're just gonna go here. We're gonna bring this up, not break it. Don't do that. I did that mistake. I'm straightening this. Oh, that's enough. Yeah, there's about that many. I had this green screen, this would have been easier to do. And if I had my phone, this would have been easier to do. And here. There we go. Cool, isn't it? That's not all of them though. You see, that's why there's a large stone under it. Okay. So basically, we're gonna draw the ones that we did not draw. How fast can you do that in the stream? Easy. It's not, it depends. I'm supposed to have learned this. So, the character you showed us in the sketchbook, yes, I'm also working on that too. Now, I do have to check some of my older things of sorts for sure first. Like, I gotta make sure I go check in Spiral so that I don't forget my references. Because past me is the genius, and I wrote down references and info before I did this. Because if I forget it, and if I depend on my memory, which memory is not fully reliable, it's cool if you memorize something by heart, but if you forget something or get something slightly off, imagine your character was supposed to be orange haired instead of blue haired at that time, and you realize, wow, I should have probably looked back. Like, it could be so irrelevant to somebody in the future, but it's not really. Because like later in the future, you goes, well, my accuracy is off then. I'm just gonna ignore it because I'm being paid money now. No! They're supposed to be the way that you thought of them as before. Anyways, so we have scales of, you know, the blah blah stuff like scales of measurement right here. And then we have the same thing like the same here. Just gonna try to show this on screen. Yeah, I'm gonna do it slower because I feel like the computer doesn't capture it. So we're done with it. So I'm gonna HACIA. There we go. Stress resist trials. The Zolmodis flow. Here it is. The rune 4 again. You know, I'll get the structure just a little bit right here. I want to say something on screen anyways. Basically, the Zolmodis flow, or something that'll be referenced later in the beginning of the series I'm trying to make. Hold on, you're gonna pay attention. Was made by Zal Hypis, Molo Hypis, and Dallas Hypis, Flowy Kashika Kedra. FLS is one of the best adapters to this extra complicated method of intergalactic plateau cosmic traveling. This Zolmodis flow is described as a Ruthuian type of traveling where a user can mentally leave their body in the form of particles directly linking to their function. While doing it, they can flow through a current of 11D residing within the cosmos, in others throughout time. This makes the user move quickly in high speeds with the risk of shooting their body into the cosmos, but meant for the purpose of scouting. And with that said, you must be trained to do this technique. The user cannot be prepared to use their full focus in order to maintain. Well, the user has to be prepared to use their full focus in order to maintain their control over their own 11D, including the help of other Nidras, the people and killers that you recognize, in order to keep you, the user, in zone safe, as you will be required to be put in a large cylinder with a large hole in it to keep your body and entity that's left of you together. And there's a bunch of other stuff like the rune forming particle, which I really don't want to say off. Like, basically the family friendly version, the more friendly version. Like, I'm not reading a fake thing, it's real. The rune forgan is a hypothetical 7-time particle, or the particle of sorts. I'm going to say hypothetical because you guys don't know what I'm talking about. It's the that was because it's beyond current understanding of certain multiverses. And is mostly hidden, is said to have a lot of newer types of movement and functions that it will allow, let's say, the particles positive and negative, let's say electrons and neutrons and anything else, like a bunch of particles that I don't have to. I know there's not too many, but I'm not going to get into elements in the scientific table of elements because there's a lot of bias in that. I'm not going to get into that because there's so many issues with that. So multiverse something blah blah blah. It is also allowed that this particle was owned soon, I could say previously owned by Billy Atkinson, which is a colloidal that was formed by a colloidal infinity that's named after Nushua, but she came out as a Coscron, but she was already meant to be a Coscron anyways. It's an it, not a she, but I'm saying she just so you guys know. The particle is known to be very, let's say, very hidden, undiscovered. It's elusive, and it remained hidden from like a lot of individuals that try to find it ever, because it's very valuable. Let's say as valuable as like saying you found a very rare mineral. We don't find ever much like francium. According to the Verpin's responses, the real organ can only be found within the help of Billy Atkinson. Let's say back then Billy Atkinson had many rules, and one of those rules was that she was let's say the person behind the altar of Rulenia, not the one that you know. The altar is usually holding the key to unblocking the particle's properties and tricks. Those who possess a deep fluid connection with everything are believed to be able to access its relative position in the cosmos. So basically, if you don't have a lot of knowledge on how this all works, and you're making a flow, you're a faker, and you just want to hunt down stuff for nothing and all that, you never find it. That stuff like that on your mind, it's never gonna come to you. You never be able to pick it up. Like say, if you learn how to swim from competition instead of passion, what's the difference there? You see, there's two differences, and I do know swimming is a type of sport that's now done for competition as well. It can be competitive and very passionate. And when you see, there's like differences right there. There's a lot of different skills that you can learn from just swimming. It's not just one, which is where I meant by you don't just jump in. Let's say I ran rash in football. I'm super strong and I can just ran right through everybody. But if you have no skills, somebody could probably trick you into thinking some other way into this. So that means there's something to do with like thinking about it than just running in right into it. You can get it, what I mean. So basically, if your connection to the universe or any higher levels of measurement and like the multiverse, omniverse, and everything, which is larger than a lot of those units of measurement, if you have a bad connection, you probably wouldn't find it, and the particle will probably distance itself away from you, which makes it much more easier for people who care about it more. I'll go there. You can tell if you're greedy. How? Because the particle literally, based on your particles and what everything else, a lot of my universes do not rely much on the same particles we use. We use energy particles, we call them energy, and of course they're labeled, and there's more sciences behind those and maths behind it that we use to try to make a story so that it's easier for us to understand. But for this, it's like already settled and ready to know. And with the people who have the intelligence and confidence to be able to find it, they will just basically find it more easier. The existence of the ruin organ remains challenging to study, as many among the Verpins and Veildicks are responsible for their civilizations and constructs. They always remain very vigilant around because while they're working so much, Verpins and Veildicks are, in case you guys don't know, are basically generals, the smartest people in their civilizations of the if they're so busy, so they usually whenever something like that comes up, they get distracted and they want to know more about the particle because they're too busy. It's like saying you really badly want to play and hang out with your friends, but you also have to badly work and finish your shift, or you have to, for example, let's say it's like your shift is kind of fun doing what you're doing, but there's this other side job you're doing where you can basically discover and invent something new, or you have a chance to become the next thing, the next somebody to look up to. If you happen to keep listening to people who keep updating you on this unknown thing that you've been trying to study for, then trying to discover, like trying to say like figure out the answer to, but you have your work, and that's as desperately as more important to you. So it's like, and the chance they're vigilant. They, as they are, have a larger and more profound understanding of the particle in shape, but nobody but Beliak to say knows where it is throughout its all as it's frail. What's the challenge from there? It's the fact that Belia, let's say, because this particle was in hunt for a long period of time, as significantly long as saying the Marvel Cinematic Universe and above that multiverse, and in the comics, as long as let's say for lots of years, decillions and so many years, Bailey Atkinson has had troubles with people who wanted to take the particle for themselves, and you know how, with that on hand, you probably don't trust anybody with the particle. You really, really have to be very, very believable. He didn't trust them. You got to trust. She has to trust you. It is she's lived through many disasters, traumas, and historical events that ever occurred in all time. That it was really hard to convince Belia that the particles were going to be in good hands if they were to happen to fall upon something that's wrong. But in simplified, but basically in my words, it was hard to convince Belia about the particles already. But just considering that, it was already a struggle anyways. Don't expect everybody good to be there. Even the good people kind of sometimes they don't find the right idea. But the particle, and so that just kind of occurs to them and moves on with that for all. But I'm not gonna get into that. But it goes in that. It's a little fun one. It's a fun, smaller passage. I could get into the stress resist trials and all that. Like for example, like if I was to say like, let's see, if I was to describe a more explicit type of thing, let's see, I'm looking at this to make sure I know what I'm reading. Yeah, I think it's this one. Not that one. For example, I could just read this. Yeah, it's a long one. It's a long one. Woo! Anybody heard of this one? This one's a weird one. I might as well get to it. That sounds like it's lengthy. It's lengthy. To keep scratching my head and all that because I haven't showered. I don't really shower. I shower like every 2 or 3 days normally now. But I'm beginning. It's only certain weeks. Like say I shower every 2 days or 3 days for like 2 weeks straight, and suddenly the next week I shower every single day. It really happens because when I get distracted and I get recommitted, then that's when I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. And I have a bunch of people that have to watch over and then manage with myself. Here we go. It is the Tetralon X cosmic infection existences. The Telechondriac, the king of the alien race, the Telechondrians, was an ambitious leader, but was one too committed into curiosity, and was full of freedom with its specific actions. It was friends with a projecting ancestor. And pretty much with that kind of friendship, nothing got underway. Projecting Ancestor is basically the ancestor of Project Magnus, which is the current leader of darkness, king of darkness in the time. They're the strongest in the multiverse, and they're currently an unchallenged race that is incredible. They're supposedly the heroes. Instead of brightness being the hero, they're the villains. Darkness is the heroes. And don't think darkness is a bunch of goblins and a bunch of ugly monsters. Look at my drawings. Get your facts straight. Look at my channel and look at my drawings. That's how I draw pretty much. I'll probably say that there's probably nice. If it's not there, then I'll post it. Tell me to post it. Anyways, we're still streaming. And 2 basically is let's say like the darkness 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That like the 6th ancestor ever exist. Telechondriac was pretty early in its time. With those 2 being right, and just so you know, they're so massively strong. Marvel would die, cripple Dragon Ball. It would cripple out like any anime and everything else. You think God was scary? Just wait until you get to recognize the Projectians and different races that were out there. Friends with 2, Projecting Ancestor, nothing got underway. It was unknown out there. It vast and diverse. Telechondriac wanted to alter it for experimental reasons. Male and female Telechondrians weren't existent yet, but enough to be shaped relatively close. They were very angry, mean, and unstable, and very, let's say, explain it first. All it was that curiosity was enough to push certain normal boundaries of comfort on them. We call them Tetron in certain as well. Now. Let's say war. Tetron invasions. Was named after a series of attacks imposed onto the other citizens out there. And the Cenobites, another alien race that could counter the Telecondrians, weren't enabled as they were on the run. 2 had no mercy for them as they were vicious beasts with destructive thoughts, the Cenobite king especially. The power used by the Telecondrians was named Tetron, a particle with high friction type abilities or functions. It had descriptions of causing extra doses of curiosity. Its effects were very energetic, but if it went too far, chaos would spark from them. Telecondriac had an octron, which meant it had no limits. Like a colloidal, its own will to be free got to its head. Civilizations would be captured and planets will be literally discarded, left barren. It was late age 1, so this was no good. Every projecting ancestor was in exploring mode at the time, but assault when it came to the Cenobites. Time anomaly, by the way. Cenobites weren't supposed to be there. Fun fact, the Cenobites were not supposed to exist in age 1. This is a timeline type of thing. There's already a thing that had to be settled when I made my series. Basically, the Cenobites came a little way more later as a mistake the Persians made. It was a faulty projecting. It came out very strange. It came out more vicious, and their screams or screeches and very loud, very powerful running creatures of metallic godly hell. They're very violent. They were colored black red, and when usually they're colored black orange, but when they get mad, it's black red. I'm not going to spoil their color later on because I'll just spoil more of my series. But basically, everybody was in exploring mode. Telecondrians were too curious as creatures, and I hate how I wrote it right here in the spiral order differently, but yeah, they were very curious creatures. Their excuse was curiosity. That was enough for them to go, let's just attack or leave barren. And apparently, most of the time, parents had not, like the planets right there just had nothing on them. And with the progeny ancestors in exploring mode, not everybody was getting along except for anybody that got away. And Telecondriac was a very ambitious octron-filled Frau. There are 3 types of things that you could have on yourself here. You have the Templix, and then there's the Alice. Then there's the Templix, which is like that double, and then that usually is defined on here and here. And as well as the Octron, which is usually a type of more different shaped one, which usually is that. The Moral Dex is more something like an upside down rhombus, but like Octron is like an 8 side thing. Why 8? It's not really specifically 8. It just has 8, but it has like very small angles right there. But I'm not gonna get to that because of alien stuff. But basically, Octron, your Kaleidos only have Octrons, and anybody less is not gonna have an Octron or more Dex. Those are super rare. Templix, Alice, Templix. There's no Alex, but I'm not going to spoil that. There is something to do with Alex later on. But there's also more Dex, and then there's also the Octron. And I'm not going to get into that because it's going to be a little violent. Anyways, let's say every Predator ancestor was in that mode, and basically Predators were just explorers, but when it gets aggressive or unfair, they start attacking. I think the Telecondrians were made by the Projectians, I'm not sure about that. But during the invasions, what also was taken was the best. Some others, known as explorers, tried to save as much as they can of their own. The best things being that they captured. So basically, their countries went over, and I think they took over. They just took some very nice battlers or individuals, frauds and beings of specific magnitude, just took them with them. So they took as much as they could. Let's see. They would take them apart, combine them with their own, and with only a few select, known as the Tevils, experiments to the Telecondrians. They were Telecondrian subjects containing multiple cores in them. They had more than one normal ability set, and Telecondriac took and did the same. The process was known as this is gonna be chondriolosis, the combination of alien species cores that with you and the user. The method was later used in the future again. For example, the Philians. With this in mind, they tried to mask their results by continuously taking over what they wanted. It's not pretty, it's not fair, it is just out of curiosity, but They say out of curiosity. They got pretty greedy and continued to pull apart any that got in the way. The stars and cosmos were under their watch soon after, since some wars because they could control the universe at one point. Some of it, or all of it, being known by the name of Van Bluesor, got involved right when that happened. Because of course the universe is so darn vast. Not our universe, different ones that we're not in. It's vast different ones, and I can say multiverses. This is not the same multiverse. But at one point there's gonna be someone who's gonna go, no. They're gonna go like that, and they're gonna listen. So, being known as the divine name of Van Bluesor, I got involved with some of the altars on the side. They kept the Telechondrians from continuously trying to expand by refusing and fighting back against them. The altars were successful and contained the Telechondrians away. Though this costed them 2 lives, Van Bluesor was the altar of Teruvox, which is relating to the Terevuians. Keep reading though. I'm just explaining almost all of it. The Telechondrians, in their efforts, tried to fight the altars and got very desperate that they began to collaborate with the Dark Tyrants around there. Yes, unfortunately, relations between the Telechondrians and the rest of the cosmos weren't really that good. Many problems with the miscommunication, and with that said, the Dark Tyrants would add Telechondrians to their list of the most favorable alien races ever, next to the Cenobites, because the Cenobites were to combine with Dark Tyrants. Dark Tyrants are specific species of individuals that reject their race, reject themselves as what they are, and become an entity of their own. They say, I'll reject being human, I'm a Martian, and I'm going to rebel. Or I say, I'm no race, I'm my own, I'm going to call myself a Dark Tyrant, or DT. And their language is different though. It's not really DT or Dark Tyrant. I just simplified the Dark Tyrant so that you guys can understand it, because you guys are not going to understand any language. Like you already see their names are already strange. If I try saying it in their language, it would not make any sense to you guys, and then I'll keep telling you guys what this means. So, yeah, it was not so favorable. So Dark Tyrants, basically mercenaries, people that hitmen, stuff like that, but they're kings and they control what they want. They can even send some of their own and make their own civilizations and cities and battle units and roles like armies and large ships to invade other places that disagree with them. And if they're successful enough, they would take on even the largest, which rarely happens, but there are scenarios when that happen. So Telechondriac, let's say Telechondriac and the Telechondrians decided to team up with the Dark Tyrants as they got desperate and wanted to take over the rest of everything. And Van Bluesor was kind of something that was annoying. It was already annoying to them. They just decided to go, and we don't care. We're just gonna side with some of the very baddest people around here and just completely annihilate you guys out of existence, except in their language, and they don't talk like humans. So I don't know how I can try to explain that to you. In fear of other civilizations, they had reuniting against the Telechondrians, which were known as the Teleuni Wars. Let's see. In fear, the other civilizations had to reunite against the Telechondrians. I hate misreading that. Which were known as the Teleuni Wars, where everybody was against the Dark Telechondrians. Where everybody against the Dark Telechondrians tried to push back against their expansion. The battles were all fight and run. Many were sneak attacks. The game changed for sure, but as a result, the effort was successful, luckily. But in the meanwhile, Telechondriac was trying to figure out a better way to power itself up even more. And with all that, Telechondriac would go again be with the Dark Tyrants. But something was a little different, and a little different happened this time. Strangely, in events of the Teleuni Wars, Melon Livius so happened to be there in the events of that time in history, which explains the Cenobites' wrong placement in time. Melon Livius is no hero, and no, this guy was dangerous, as the being was known to have ruined a lot of timelines and caused one of the most worst ones to ever exist, like your worst nightmare. Like saying for Marvel, they have their worst ones where it's just ugly. It's like, why does this even exist? You question its existence, and you space out. So then, but not evil in Telechondric's eyes. So basically, Melon Livius was like I'm a hero. I'll help you. I'll help you take all of them. Take them all out. Just agree with me. Team with me. I will help you. So to the contract and inspiration was like, okay. But that's like the human way of me describing it. For them, there's just a bunch of sounds that I can't perceive. So when they met, they all went. It all went bad. Still went bad. Millennium escaped telecontract Tetralons and technology from the future, making everything pretty perfect for telecontract to conquer the universe. It wasn't so hard anymore. What is this technology specifically? It was from a different existence, belonging to infamous villains like Project X, the Eliminator, and the Zyokians. These components were then combined into making the generator, technology that could produce a new type of power source named Tetralon X. A power particle so dangerous it shouldn't have been created. These are the main effects of it. The Tetralon X has usually confuses with, but also it literally states and it has effects like uncontrollable anger, infinite generated power, self-destroying side effects, loose radiation that pollutes, infectious, not removable unless deactivated, abundant. It is resistant to cosmic crunch, and it is resistant to time. And all that I can say is that it was one of the most terrible events that have occurred in history, different histories that led into that, because with that, if it's not affected by time, you will be going everywhere. And completely, you have, like, everybody who has that completely just wants to mess everybody's life. No matter what universe you're in, no matter what timeline. So, what that was, it was, the stuff got passed on, was abused, it was hacked, it was adopted, it was taken, it was even launched from places. The particle became one of the most dangerous particles of all time, next to the Glypsions. Every villain would use it at one point, even some heroes themselves. Tetralon X was even used by Magnus Minium himself, which I'm not gonna get into because problems with that. And yeah, Tetralon X became a particle of hope as well, but it also mass cosmic destruction as well. But we're not gonna get into that. But that's another story in short words. Somebody shouldn't have made that particle in the first place. But I'll keep it not serious so that you guys don't get sad and depressed. So I made it super consumable and fun for you guys to listen to. And there's a bunch of other stuff in here that's much more weirder, more stranger, more stereotypical for me to talk about, because you guys don't know who I am. It's just I don't expect you all to know. So we're just gonna basically go around here and put this down somewhere so that we don't spend too much time on it. Just kidding, we're gonna spend a lot of time on it. Anyways, wow, my journal. Wow, we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go like this. It's just a lot that skips because a lot of it's writing and the pages are super folded. Like, I mean, I could even talk about the pulses on the spot right now. There's a lot of pulses. I mean, there's also stuff like this. It's kind of fun to do. Why is it? I hate when my camera does that. Anyways. That was a fun one. It was like a short thing. Short side story. Anyways. Now, basically, we got that first part done. Now we're going to do the next part, which is going back to drawing, which I swept you in for a lot of info that you didn't know. So, haha, you got scammed. That's basically my form of scamming somebody. Basically, now I have to continue with the characters here. I still have to take out my journal, so that would be that way. We're gonna see if my stream's able to. The stream's able to do it. So, all right. now we're in this part. Alright, I gotta make sure to do this because human body, I don't really feel the heat or cold much, but if I don't keep myself in check, I'm going to get sick, and I don't like being sick. Okay, we're also right here. Now we're gonna go into the drawing part. This is literally just jump in. Here's this, and here's that. Problem is that this, you guys can't see it unless it's not on the recorder where it's able to pick it up. So at one point I'm probably just gonna get another table, but what table that probably reclines, but I don't think I'll be able to get something like that ever again. So I'm just going to, yeah, I'm going to get another table. I'm going to replace the table I'm using here. This literally is what I used before for drawing in older videos of mine. I used to do hyperlapses. Literally, this right here. If I get another table, I'll just use that for my computer, and there'll be one here for my drawings, so I can stop making it look like I'm faking it. Not postponing time anymore. Let's just get into it. Alright, so what we have practically around here is Medelas, Prometheus, Cyclonus, Hypus. I'm going to say Medelas, but right now I'm not going to say Medelas' other name because I don't want to spoil it. Martino, Stardust, Sordin, Chloe, Kotoa, Menos, Magnine, Alex, Hydria, Saffron, Diana, Kikasha, Isotek, Magnus, Chenzo, Pexla, Star, Kaika, Fellas, got Sadie's, and Tesso. Yeah, we have those names too. Magnus, Magnio, Kikashi, Kaishin, Isotek, Hypus, Diana. Vargas, Saffron, Hypus, Hytrius, Phileus, Phyllis, Hypus, Kaika, Kashin, Tesso, not gonna get to say the second name, Godsadis, Phileus, Stardust, not saying that. I'm gonna say Stardust, Kedra, I'm not gonna tell you spoilers. Magnine. Say the second name. Good. I was making sure. It's Magnum Magius. Martino, Hypus, Cesar, and Cesar Devon, and Menos, but I'm not gonna get into that. Kotoa, the fellas of the finals, and Prometheus, Cesar, and Medelos. Not gonna say the name. Cyclones, Hypus. So basically, we have those already. Not gonna say a lot of their second names, like Alex, Khazard, because I don't like doing spoilers! So we're gonna get into here. We're gonna mark out the ones that we already wrote down because I'm a sicko in my head. Or am I? Oh, we haven't done Maverick Nerdist. Whoops. I haven't done Maverick Nerdist. Good point for me to drawing them right now. So we're gonna put this here. Is this long enough? No, it's not long enough. See, that sucks when it's not, when it doesn't reach there. It doesn't. Run away! Always. Why can I need to knock down my own things? Can reach this far. So, okay. Yeah, it works. Alright, Mavern Neridus. We're gonna draw you. Your youngling Gen 3 failure of a project that I never worked on longer than I did. Just kidding, I did, or did I? We're gonna draw the leg, the this, the that. Mavern Neridus is a skinny individual. I don't expect much shade to come from Mavern Neridus because Mavern Neridus is a pipsqueak. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Mavern Neridus is very beautiful. If you put her in gacha light, she looks very nice. Or does she? We don't know. Anyways, we're gonna stop with the joking. Neridus has a nice slender shape. Just kidding. It's just a normal shape. Where is it? Let me see. We're gonna draw the arm. We're gonna put this here. Because they're very small, really, there's not much detail I could put on them, as well as that does kind of makes my job easier, so we're gonna put as much as we can, because I hate having excuses made for drawing characters. Mavernerdis usually has this mode tap type fro going on, the thing where it goes gray, it's pants, it's tight pants, she has boots of sorts. Yeah, I have to be very careful, because like when it gets too small and at this scale it gets much more dangerous. You guys can't really see me do it because the drawing part of it is that the issue with this is that I can't really do much about it. It's gonna be me drawing like that. So we're gonna put this to the side. We're gonna do that. I can't drag the computer closer because there's literally nothing I can do about that right now. I'm gonna go here and put this. Mavernerdis is a black head. Done this. Extend that. Add in the privily because privily is funny. By the way, privily is basically stuff that you guys consider antennas, but I'm not gonna get into that because you guys are losers, or are you? Or are you? We don't know that. So we're gonna put bangs, do this, get rid of all this useless amount of lines because it's distracting. We're gonna get this. We're gonna remove that headpiece here. Do that. Make it wavy. Make it dynamic. We have this now. Put these lines here. Make the pants more tighter, as well as put in depth and line stroke and line stroke depth, and then making sure to repeat that because I feel like the mic just doesn't pick it up at all. And now we got Mavernerdis. We're not gonna take too much space here because I'm supposed to fill out characters in it. So here's this side. We're going to pass by some of you guys. Who are you again? Oh yeah, it says Red Sun guy. I'm assuming if I remember, that's Calitha. Calitha. I didn't draw Calitha yet. Calitha basically is an abused figure. This figure was abused for large portions of their life. So basically they didn't have the smoothest. But who cares about the pain anyways, because you guys like to watch that stuff happen and go, that's not, it's sad, but it's not that sad really. And you think you can say, I'm tough, so why do you think I'm gonna cry type of thing. That is true. You're crying inside, you will, or not, or do you, or will you, I don't know. Rolling V Sauce music. Character basically had a similar lifestyle as Travis Scott's beginning, except it was alien based and the abuse was incredibly more disgusting and less, let's say, hanging out with prostitutes on the street, which we don't want to do. So don't do that. Actually, please just make sure that whenever I say this stuff, don't put too much thought into it, because it's please don't do what I said. The character kind of did something very wrong. Don't follow what they're doing. It's more than correct. They were also forced to do it, so it's not like that there was choice there. So basically, yeah, don't do that. Don't follow that. So as well as that, get into a routine of being able to create your own things, because this character did not have that fortune and opportunity. We're gonna put this in. I hate it. So when I do the shoe parts, it's just very weird because when it's at the scale, it's not accurate. Alright, we got Calitha. Calitha is awfully large here, so we have to reduce the mass here. I'm not going to say proportions because you will find that strange down the way. So we're gonna, Calitha has a more porcelain lipo type of hairstyle later on, which I'm not going to get into because everything is going to require my context. hair is usually darted out like that, and then it puts a black visor in there. There's this. Kellis has these like type of filing features that she gets later on in the series, because Dax's kind of gets into a feud, and also I can't really keep talking too much when I drop, because there's like certain limits. There's just like frail that occurs in my head, so I kind of get too deep into it, and sometimes I don't speak much unless somebody was there with me. But you know what? I can't really make that an excuse to not be able to speak with your friends about it. So we're just gonna, all right, put this right here. It should take this microphone to its limit. Alright. We drew it using my own references. We get into that. I think I drew certain other individuals in my other sketchbook, so I kind of have to take out that stuff on the spot as well. We find out that the details of them were developed around there. Music wise, these characters just don't get their themes because not all of them is unless there was a time for me to be able to pick it up and say I can make a theme song for all of them. It's a different production quality, I think, because you lose quality when you start to get music that's like you say so long that music that you start to lose sense of making proper music. So I'm gonna take out this sketchbook because I should have done that a long time ago, and I didn't. And I didn't prepare, or did I? Let me see. That's not it. That's this one. Drew a lot of interesting ones. Like, I mean, this is like something from like the beginning of the series at some point. This is something from the beginning of the series at one point. Mike. Like that. It wasn't really a joke, because like I like to do the flexibility thing. Like, there's this too. Yeah. Something like testing out the textures and all that. I was getting used to it. And then there's this one right here. It shows something I'm not showing that at least though. There's this one here too. That's one right there. Full detail. I had to do a perspective practice on this one, and then I did that. Usually I do my space like that because I need to find an excuse to practice my lines and circles always. Find out the lines and find out the depths and all that. This one is a little more fun to do, I don't know. Like this one here, basically I just let's see, I kind of did this on purpose because I needed to practice with drawing ankles within the span limit. I also like doing the leg part because I know your legs they deform a lot in certain images. Oh yeah, and then there's one where basically I try to draw something like within like it's within the water or some type of liquid substance. There's that too. Get into that frail and ignore that image in the background, or do I? Just kidding. We're gonna look. Let's see. I'm gonna go like here. Yeah, basically that. It was an attempt at drawing different body shapes and poses, because I can. And then there's this as well. Hate how the camera's position. I have to go like that. See, when I do it like this, it goes reverse. I hate that. So yeah, there's this one too. Those are supposed to be little nightmare characters, but just that was my stuff, and then just basically like neon sword piercing thing. And then there's this one as well. The world's list story. I kind of posted this stuff on my YouTube channel. If you guys don't even look at that, then I'm mad at you. So we're just gonna look at this. This took me time to make. Not much, but it should be counted. See, I do this. I just do different ones. I shape awkward poses. Nice poses. City. One right here. We got that one. we had characters. That one right there is Mavern in her reality right here. This one's another one. They have a name. They have names now. Yeah, shippies have names. Netherlands and Pro-Estonians. I just decided to be an idiot, not doing things, and basically Caledonian anatomy. It's not inappropriate because Pinterest allows me to draw it. And there's this one right here. Different ones. I tried putting edgier looks, more normal looks, anime looks, and then some looks where it looks like it's just doing that. And then this bottom one here that I just wanted to try and see if I can do something with curves, a little more like flexible, showing off shade, getting more psychological things, more like that, testing out flexibility because bones, man, and these characters don't rely on bones. Their organs are different, their builds are different, their things in the different. They don't have fleshy stuff like us. It just looks fleshy. But because YouTube reasons and because you guys like females, I had to draw in a specific way. So in the beginning, I drew in 50% me, 50% YouTube. So acceptable for them, but 50% unacceptable for me. So I don't really like the style. So if you guys think I'm doing what I like, it's not doing fully what I like. And then there's just this one where basically I want to draw a bunch of this right here. Try doing this. I at least know how bending, squishing, and all that works, and how somebody could like if you pick up your if you do this with your arm, like you do this with your arm, you're doing this, your arm's now not fully seen. You can't fully see the arms. You think, wait, did this arm get shorter? No, it's just the angle. So when you do this, it gets longer because you're looking at that angle. So if I do this, that's perspective. If we go like this, and I squish my arm, go, there's squish. You need to get something tight. If you go like this, that's stretch. So whenever somebody leans or goes like that, something like that, there's that. See right here? The arm starts like that, and now it's going. Now it's stretched out. Now it's like that. This, same thing with this. This right here, nothing. And then you gotta go like that. There's this stuff like that. And then you have to, basically right after that, I tried doing machinery, which then I detail with a dash and dashes, dynamic things, texturing, doing that, testing it out, going for rooming, and then going for distance and perspective, then turning it all like that, trying out the more grainier textures, as well as getting the circles and abstracts and getting the details, as well not stippling, and rather using my fingers, and then as well as having to make sure the designs are accurate to what I drew originally. And then I just drew them. I basically kind of made a bunch of skits. And then these are my favorite ones. I'm about to draw these characters on like the paper one. This one basically, these are more younger. They're called G-Devons, and G-Devons are a combination of different races. Like if races combine and they came from their ancestors. Ancestors were not combined; they're different, they're separate. They're original races. Sensio Leonardus and Licia Canardus. These are Neridans in age 6. These are G-Devons. And then here's Calta again, which I just drew on this thing right here on the left. And then there's Mavern on the right. But on the camera, it's the reversed. So there's that too. And then I had to do something with sizing, textures, dynamic poses, planets, skies, let's say ability effects, like the appearance of abilities. Then I did shapes, then I did following motions, tilting motions, bending motions, arching motions, dynamic wide open motions. And then I went for something more like a larger shot, where you got a shot of like the background right here, where you basically get more of the atmosphere and the surroundings in here, basically making it simple for you guys to understand. Basically went for foreground, background, and then the closer right here, which is usually within the ratio, which I followed here, making sure that this didn't go in the 2/3, so it was nicely positioned. It looks very cinematic. And then especially this larger one took over 2 pages, and I did that. That one's a very cool one. It's like a Promean projecting a galaxy. And there's Phocronibia, which is a Castron, which is the worst thing you've ever seen. It will be appearing up in the series. It's very deeply deeply character that kind of ruins a lot. And then this right here, which I'm gonna go like that. Basically, me trying to test out how much I know so far about drawing very quickly. And you can see, like, I even put Miko in there, and I put other things in there, and it was like basically testing if I can still like draw stuff in my style. And when I draw in my style, you get stuff like this. Making sure I don't show anything inappropriate. It's just basically that. Now, if you guys try to take the designs, too bad. Already on my photos. I've already shared it on YouTube. It's already in. Like you tried, it's copyrights already. Don't worry. Anybody who thinks that they can just run like that, no, it's already been taken. Too bad. So then we got this as well. These are younglings, and they're basically somewhat. They're like basically adapting their parents' features. We got the cherry I think, and then yeah, more panoramic, bending forward, more different angle. The thing is tilted. You know what? If you guys know what I'm doing there, you guys would know that a lot of movies do that in the movie scene or directors, and then yeah, just drawing a bunch of hands, which and then use reference for. I used my hand, which counts as a physical reference. And then we got this right here as well. They already have names, and I went for flexible, and I went for longer. I went for longer legs, backs, taller characters, shorter characters with wider features, and that. But those are characters that look fleshy and human, so don't think that they look very robotic and unique. Those are just ones that people would like to look up to most of the time instead of robotic creatures. But trust me, when I draw them like robotic creatures, it's very, very cool. Now then there's this one too. I'm gonna try out my abstract skills I got from Illustrator, Adobe in my time. And then this one, then this one, and then there's this one as well. Trying out my more, what if I put creatures that I drew normally into the drawings of mine. So like 2 characters that are more like that, 2 characters that are not like that. And then I drew this in color actually in my channel already. It's already on my channel. It's in color now. But yeah, also, yeah, I really did a good job at that, and like really did a good job at that. I was getting very good, still very good. Quick portrait, not the best, but I was trying out my proportions. Yeah, tried laying down, went for squish narrative again. This, of course. This, of course. I was trying to get it all there. Then I put this, of course. Younglings. There's a and then there's like the species that you don't see everywhere. The projecting Warcraft, getting it within there. Something like this again. And yeah, we finally got our first one after a while. I congratulate you, Project X. Already protected, so anybody who wants to steal that from me, too bad. It's already protected. I'm first. I was already first. The design was already done way back. So, yeah, I got to this. I got into more flexible, tilted ones. I did that. These aren't too serious. I still went for robotic, and then I went for this. One like that. This one's one of my favorite ones. It's got a bunch of different poses, static, still levitating, bending, and then active ones, and then ones where it looks like they're dancing or something, like just posing. And then the dynamic one. Then I did something like that, or basically get a tilted one, uneven one, and then I just did that, or I just randomly wanted again to see like if you drew fatter characters, if they had fatness to them. And then I drew characters with larger proportions, bending ones, back views, all that, to see if I can make ones where they're facing back. See ones if I can do ones where I can show proportion. And then there's ones where I basically did very flexible one, flexible static one, big one, moving like say barely any movement, and then one where they just Instagram photo. And then this very well known trio might very soon. Martino, Maz Magnum, and there's a Phyllis, all in the same image. I like Martino's ones though. Martino's pose looks cool. And Maz Magnum, very nice. And then we got this one as well, which we got into that. This one as well. I think it goes the opposite way because it's upside down. Me forgot to change it. And then there's this one. Back views, split views, Roman poses, some poses, flying poses, one where it looks like Instagram photo, where just showing proportions, then my characters, drawing proportions, then this, hair, flow, vial fern, spans, smaller size, different tone, colors, then actually got to name them. There's ones here. And I tried drawing my style with Superman in it to see if there's any difference, and there's, well, very good. My characters don't fit in with Superman. Give it my own thing. And then I drew taller, more model, like, looking proportion, where it looks like they're bodybuilders. And then there's also this one as well. I like to do bends and static, more pensive, straight talking ones. The ones where it look like they're midway motion, like saying they're about to do something is about to happen, either they slow down or they're falling. So it looks like that. And also shaking or dancing moves, as well as stopping or tilted, penetration type of thing here. And then one where basically you got to draw more like a serious one. Kikasha, Kashane, a Lithuanian on this side, and really I can say right there, the one I've mentioned in my stories earlier. And then there's just an NSFW one on the NSFW ones that I drew there in my Discord. If you join my Discord thing in my community posts around here, I want to show you these because I wouldn't want to lose my channel anyways. I would not want to lose my channel. And then there's this one. This one's basically everybody's doing acrobatic, testing my ability to test out different proportions, poses, see if I can put in little things, as well as this one. I wanted to do some more surreal one and different angles poses, as well as I try more, if I can try dynamic and try more ones where basically not everything on there is like fully stated right there in its size. It's like, I don't know what to call it. We color this and different things. Yeah, I'm gonna do weapon holding one soon. You'll see this release on my channel soon. Weapon holding ones, striking poses. I already used this one on my channel before. And then I kind of turned these into colored ones already. They'll be on my channel for sure. Yeah, I guess that's so. And it's, let's see. Almost time for me to leave. I guess I can't continue my drawing. Well, I'll continue my drawing just now and there, because people usually arrive in that time when this all happens, so there's that. So, let me put this all away, watch how fast this happens. there we go. We got basically a song formed on the spot. Setup's been changed, and that's basically what happens from 12 to 1 normally when I'm by myself. It happens day yes, like one day is yes, one day no, and then the next day is yes, and the next day is no, the next day is yes. The ones where it's no is when I usually do music, but because there's no music, there's no option for me but to continue drawing stuff, and then my operations usually end like that, in that way. So basically I did the stream for educational purposes so that future me know what I was doing. It's a little fun, I get to talk to myself, but it's not really that type of thing where I talk to myself. Preferably when I'm on stream, I always usually talk to you and narrate to you guys. Obviously, if I'm not streaming, what am I talking to? Myself. So basically I normally take out my books and stuff and take all this file. I sit up and it looks like nothing has ever happened. Like nothing ever happened. Now this is, remember, day yes, day no, day yes, day no. I don't do this every day. And if I forget one day, it's my fault. And sometimes I think I pick up an excuse to be lazy. When do I not do this? Saturdays and Sundays are usually my days where basically I'm trying to go out throughout the internet or find melodies and find bases of songs so I have something to work with, and then I'll keep build up to it. And then my art pieces and writing, I kind of continue on and make sure I memorize my stuff and make sure I'm all alert and okay, and make sure I memorize all the content. Anyways, that's how that one would go. And yeah, thanks for watching the stream. That ends the stream. Tom Frowns, we're done here and we're out because then people arrive here and make noise. Till then, I'll be using this as, in case people think I'm doing nothing, this is about a fraction of what I do. And the content that's product is what comes on the other side. 40% of it normally, and not all 100% of it. And yeah, we're done here.